Full blast of the whistle on a couple of occasions by the Ethiopian referee, Mr. Wayesa. Have a look at this again. Just overdid it a little and then tripped himself up, did Fashion Sakala. Karim Konate is also on for the Ivorian side, 19 years old and already making his 6th appearance for the Ivorian national side. Space in Oos with Liefering. It's an impressive looking scoreline. You can see what Jean-Louis Gasset is attempting to do. Appeals for a penalty, and the referee saying to the Ivorians, get back to your feet. I'm not giving anything for that. Adingra, the closest to the action. Now that happened after the whistle had gone initially, and then there was a foul on the goalkeeper as well. To complete the substitutions, then there's an injury in the Zambian camp. Jean Kouassi has also come on to the field of play. Jean Everard Kouassi, a 28-year-old, plays in China with the Zhejiang, making his 13th appearance today. He's only got one international goal, Jean Kouassi, but give credit to coach Gasset. There was the challenge between Stapula Sunzu, Stupila Sunzu and Simon Adingra. A footballing incident, says the referee. Another substitution coming then for the Ivory Coast, and Eric Bailey, the centre-back, is going to make way. Badu will come on in his place. Emmanuel Badu, 26-year-old, who comes on for his 4th appearance. Plays for Reims, who ended 11th in Ligue 1 in France. Still, we don't have any changes that have been made by Zambia yet. Nice work by Adingra. Keeper parries it away. It'll be a corner. Suddenly the Ivory Coast are pressing forward with some intent. Karim Konate looking for his first international goal. It's a good ball from Adingra, and since he's come on, he really has applied himself rather nicely. Touch there from Roderick Kabwe. Zambians looking for a foul. Nothing from Mr. Wayesa, the Ethiopian referee. Again, it's Adingra. 21-year-old has shown some good skills since he's come on. And this should be easy for Kings Kangwa. Another injury in the Zambian camp. get together as well with Stupila Sunzu again, speaking to the rather diminutive Ethiopian official who is 42 years old. He became an international referee in 2009, but has been refereeing since 2003. So a 20-year sojourn for Mr. Bamlak Tesamawiyesa. The fans that have packed themselves into Living Mwanawasa Stadium today have had a good afternoon of things. Only 20 minutes remaining. Zambia looking to go top of Group H in qualification for the AFCON after a 3-year absence, or 3-tournament absence. And the ball is Tandin Wape. It's all attack from the Ivory Coast at the moment. This is going to be a test of the Zambian outfit. Kessie and Sankare has been a common theme in the midfield for Côte d'Ivoire. Now players running off the ball. That'll be a corner. Let's see by the body language, the intent from the Ivory Coast to get on with matters. Another deep corner, wasn't really that well controlled. Ball whipped away from in front of Kessie. Stupila Sunzu and company doing just enough at the moment. Are we going to see finally some substitutions coming from the Zambian side? There are players lining up. I see Lamek Banda has to stripped off, but he certainly is doing a little bit of a warm-up routine. Now Zambia looking for some consolidation. They lead by 3-0. Ibama Masonda. This man's been impressive since he came on as the first substitution. Came on for Idrissa Doumbia. Well timed in the challenge as well from a 21-year-old. Tandin Wape with a long throw effort. Second ball for Zambia. And that's a shot that needed saving. Fans applauding that situation. Calvin Kapumbu wide. Yeah, it's a venomous effort, and the keeper maybe unsighted with the ball coming through between Emmanuel Agbadu and the other Zambian attackers, that he didn't commit himself to saving with his hands, but accomplished clearing with the legs. Big figure of Stupila Sunzu. How they'd love to keep a clean sheet today. All Zambia kept a clean sheet only once. And that was away against Lesotho. That was in round 4. In the meantime, another opportunity for Kangwa. Second ball here for Fashion Sakala. There's a bit of space here for Daka. Should have hit that first time, I fancy. Pick up from Kapumbu. Sonda, Sunzu, Wape, the big fella once again. Ivory Coast had a huge flurry of attacks once they'd made the 5 substitutions that they've made already. And has a chance for Jean Kouassi. Away by Tandin Wape is the clearance. Zambia seem to have soaked up that measure of pressure. With only 15 minutes remaining in second half stoppage time, Zambia looking to go to the top of Group H with an emphatic victory at home, and to continue with their home unbeaten run and revenge over the Ivory Coast, who scored 3 when they met in round 1 on the 3rd of June. Zambia 3, Côte d'Ivoire 0. An emphatic way to beat the Ivory Coast in a match with goals for the very first time. Surprise on the face there of the captain Lubamba Masonda for the free kick going the way of the Ivorians. The referee has been strict but fair. Ghislaine Conan. This will be a massive boost for Zambian football, and particularly for Avram Grant. Preparation for the African Cup of Nations finals. Still one match to play for both of these sides, which will happen in September. Zambia away against Comores, Ivory Coast at home against Lesotho. But scoreline suggests that it's not going to make any difference, with both of these sides already having qualified through the group stages. A dinger into the middle, a chip from Kessie. There's an opportunity for a goal. It's offside. Far side assistant referee, Mr. Fasika Yahua Lachet. It was very, very level as far as the play was concerned. There would be a bit of a suggestion, I think, that Stapila Sunzu might have played him onside. In fact, the Ivory Coast might feel a little harder done by. All they have to do is look at the big scoreboard up on the northern side of the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium, and it'll tell them that they've only got themselves to blame, really. Their own goal from Aurier started the damage in just the 32nd minute. Zambia leading by a goal to nil at half-time. Touch here from Karim Konate. Looking for Kouassi. Finally, Lawrence Mulinga has to make a save. Ivory Coast absolutely dominating as far as corners are concerned. Zambia have only had one, and it was in the first half. Corner by Max Gradle, the veteran. Ball knocked away by Stapila Sunzu. Still second ball to the Ivorians, and one feels the final 12 minutes and stoppage time is going to see Zambia having to soak up miles and miles of pressure. I think the whistle's gone, by the way. Questions being asked by Lubamba Masonda, the diminutive 28-year-old midfielder who plays in Denmark. Yeah, it certainly did look as if there was a foul on Frank Kessie by Kings Kangwa. The last thing that Zambia want to do now is to concede a goal of any nature and open the door to perhaps foraging Ivorian finish to the encounter. One can maybe understand why Avram Grant hasn't made any substitutions as yet. The team is working well together. They're combining, they're foraging, they're defending, not giving anything away, as the Ivorians have done in this match, particularly on the counter-attack. That has been the success of Chipolopolo today. This is a Group H encounter. Penultimate round of qualification for AFCON 2024. The referee makes sure of where the Zambian defence have to be positioned. These are anxious moments for Lawrence Mulenga. And the Ivory Coast beat Zambia on the 3rd of June. It was a 3-1 scoreline, with Darker getting the lone goal for the Zambians. And we're going to see a similar scoreline this afternoon. Opportunity for Max Gradel. 35 years old, 104th appearance today, 17 goals. Can he add to that tally with 10 minutes remaining? Look at the line of defenders from the Zambians. Gradel! Tipped over the top by Mulenga. It's a lovely free kick. There's more defending to be done. Might have been dipping just enough. Header away, but second ball again to the Ivory Coast with Gislan Conan. Frank Kessie. Pick up by Manuel Agbadu. Max Gradel. Still Max Gradel will force the corner out of Kelvin Kapumbu. Corners are mounting in all sorts of succession for the Ivory Coast at the moment. They take this one quickly as well. Adingra. He's got Gradel outside of him, but Adingra goes on his own. Space at the back post. That's a good piece of defending. Ivory Coast piling on all measure of pressure at the moment. Adingra once again gets himself involved. The 21-year-old has been very, very impressive off the bench. So look at the free kick again from Max Gradel. Was it tipping under the crossbar? Well, Malinga couldn't take any chances. It was coming down. Gravity playing its part in no uncertain terms. It's a nice save as well from the 26-year-old Kabwe Warriors-based goalkeeper. It's been a long time since I visited the Railway Stadium, Godfrey Chitalu Stadium out in Broken Hill Town, Kabwe. Opportunity for Lubamba Masonda. Easily defended by Conan. Again, it's a good ball to the back post for the Zambians. Tell you what, the danger wasn't really averted. If Patson Dark had stayed on his feet, there might have been a different result to that attack. He seemed to fall over and then he stayed down. Now, there is Darker. Instead of getting back to his feet where he could have been involved under the crossbar, stayed down. Clearance coming from Simon Delhi. It's only their second corner kick of the match, Zambia. During the first half, two creative efforts, nothing on target from the Zambians. Will that change in the second half? Corner from Banda, punched by Folly. Head away from the danger zone by the Ivory Coast. Pick up again, though, by Kangwa. Kangwa again involved. Fashion Zakala suddenly wide on the right-hand side. This is great work by Kangwa. Scooter will cross to the far post. Folly does just enough to keep out the danger that is Patson Daka. Zambia doing the right things at the moment. They're staying on the attack. They're applying pressure. They're not allowing the Ivory Coast possession and the time with it inside of their own half. Good challenge by Sunzu. It's a crowd favourite here. You can hear that clearly. A nice pickup from Frank Kessie. Second ball again as the referee gets himself away from the danger zone. Nice ball to Jean Kouassi. And it's going to be a goal kick as well to Zambia, which will be disappointing for the Ivory Coast. With 5 minutes remaining in regulation time and a bit of stoppage time to be added on by referee Pamlak Tessimo Wayesa. The money's surely got to be on a Zambian victory. It would have been since that third goal scored by Kings Kungwa in the 55th minute. They held the lead now for half an hour. The 3-0 lead, that is. They've never been behind in the match, Zambia. This scoreline does turn into a result. It'll decide Group H. Conan. Well watched by Roderick Kabwe, the only man to have picked up a yellow card in the match so far. Another minute elapses on the stadium clock at Livium Wanawasa. And Dola, well, there'll be plenty of parties on tonight, won't there? Zane Conan, Simon Adingra. Adingra on the overlap, well watched though by the captain, Sonda. Sonda does the job again. One has to be impressed with the Zambian preparation, the way they have approached this encounter today. Kouassi looks for an opportunity for the Ivory Coast. Still no substitutions, by the way, for Avram Grant. Kouassi, still Kouassi. Kapumbu gets himself in the way. Clearance this time from Stopila Sunzu. Talking about that, Zambia do have a substitute that is lurking near the halfway line. That's Lamek Banda. Three goals without reply for Zambia today. This is Adingra. Oh, Adingra with a shot. Knocked back by Stopila Sunzu. Wide by Kessie. There are white jerseyed bodies in the penalty area. Oh, that's dismal. Fashion Sakala's had a good match on the left-hand side for Chipolopolo today, but he's not going to play 90 minutes. And Lamek Banda, the 22-year-old, comes on for his 8th cap. And a yellow card for Fashion Sakala for time wasting. Protests. And the referee says, well, you better get off, mate, because I've got another card in my pocket. And Patson Darker says to Fashion Sakala, look, keep a clean head, mate. We're leading by 3 goals to 0. Don't be silly. Or something to that effect. Lamek Banda with an opportunity. Plays for Lecce in Italy. Finished 16th. Lecce in Serie A. Right winger. Fashion Sakala is playing as a left-sided striker. We'll see where he does come on for a little cameo run here. Lamek Banda. We're into the final minute of regulation time in Ndola. Wherever Zambian supporters are watching this one, it's going to be a lot of satisfaction, a lot of hope before the African Cup of Nations finals. Maybe an opportunity for them again to taste the glory of success that happened 11 years ago. Put away by Emmanuel Egbaru. Fans have enjoyed their afternoon. It all started with that own goal from Aurier. The second half has been an impressive one for Zambia. And I say that because they came under such enormous amount of consolidated pressure from the Ivory Coast. but they haven't given anything away yet. This match moves into second half stoppage time. Stopila Sunzu all the way back to Mulenga. Sunzu will do the pickup. 4 minutes added on by referee Wayesa. Doesn't really seem any point, does they? But rules are rules. Frank Kessie, Conan, Dingra, Kessie again. The man in your picture was Max Gradle, and then all of a sudden it goes awry, and out on that far side, Lemek Bande is playing on the left-hand side. This is Kapumbu. Just in the nick of time, getting back to his feet as he slipped over there. Did Lemek Banda. No damage done for the Italian-based striker come winger. Frankie Musonda goes back to Mulenga. He'll be very, very happy if the scoreline remains as it is and he keeps himself an international clean sheet. Headed away by Folly. Conan. Kabwe has to be wide awake to the prospects on that occasion. So for that matter does Emmanuel Banda. Emmanuel Banda's had a fine match for the Zambians. This is Kelvin Kapumbu, solid in the holding midfield. 3-0 the scoreline. Nearly half of the allotted additional time by the Ethiopian referee has elapsed. Ivory Coast will have a free kick here. The substitution to be made. Looks like Cletus Chalmers going to come on. You have to wait for this next Ivorian corner kick by my account. That's up to double figures for the Ivory Coast. Or the headers over the top from Simon Dully. That might be the final chance for the Ivory Coast today. Got himself in a good position, Delhi. That is number 11 for the Zambian side, and that's Rally Bwalia. Plays his football in South Africa, does Rally Bwalia. 28-year-old with his 13th appearance for the national side today. Plays at Amazulu on the east coast of South Africa. Finished in 12th position with his new outfit. Did Rally Bwalia. Was one of the squad players against Lesotho. Didn't come off the bench though. Does come off the bench today. Bwalia, a very famous name in Zambian football. So only 2 substitutions made then by the Zambian coach, as we are now just less than 25 seconds away from the final whistle in Ndola. Solid performance from Zambia today. They don't want to leave with a blemish and a goal, but Azindra can cause that sort of problem. Kawasi not able to control. And Zambia looking to escape once again. This is Lemek Banda. Lovely work by the substitute. Looking to slot the ball through to Patson Daka. Now the switch of play out towards Musonda. Baba Musonda, space at the back post. It's almost as if Lemek Banda arrived even too early for the header. Well, it's a lovely opportunity, and he arrived. Didn't let the ball come to him, but it doesn't matter anyway, because the final whistle has been sounded. A revenge for Zambia for the loss in round 1 on the 3rd of June against the Ivory Coast. They go top of the table. Zambia win today emphatically by 3 goals to 0.